and welcome to another edition of Life Dimensions. Today I want to talk just a little with you about relationships and how to deal with conflict. You know, the very nature of relationships create conflict. The way to deal with that, and I'm going to give you something that I gained. This is not psychology. This is actually from the I Ching, which is a Chinese wisdom book. I Ching is the book of changes, and it's quite interesting. It was written over hundreds of years. Some people say it's 3,000 years old, but it's something I study quite a bit, and I use it in my personal life. And from this, I've gleaned this truth about how to deal with conflicts. And so conflicts, we'll get up to the board here. Whether they are internal or external. See, we have not just issues with other people, we have issues with ourselves. And, you know, if you worry a lot, you're critical, a lot of negative thinking, that's conflict. Again, I'm going to show you a way. And it's not going to be easy for you, but you have to understand people want quick fixes today. And all progress that lasts is gradual. It's built layer upon layer. It comes from study. It comes from devotion to a way of doing things. It doesn't come quickly. But if you're willing, I'm going to give you an acronym, all right? It's called DNA. I did that because most people have heard of DNA. D. And you see where I'm going with this in just a minute. So when we're in a conflict, the first thing we want to do is disengage, right? Most of us want to rush in and fix things. It's like running on ice and slippery. I'm telling you, you need to disengage. The next thing you need to do is you need to be neutral about it. You really got to throw your hands up. Don't care either way. What it is, this or that. Be neutral. Don't be biased. Don't want. Again, you'll see, again, I'm going to talk about this, but this is all egoic. A means to accept. Wow, how many people I work with that just can't accept their spouse or their boyfriend or girlfriend? That's the way they are. That's their personality. I often tell people in couple therapy, if you get 80%, you're getting a lot from a person. No one's perfect. So we have to learn to accept certain idiosyncratic behaviors from people. And then, of course, the last one is detach. Right? They're all very similar. Now, I want you to notice something about these. These are all soft. Okay? It's like Bruce Lee said. Remember, this is a Chinese wisdom idea from the I Ching. Be like water, be soft. When you feel yourself becoming rigid, be soft. And you can sense it. So, because the opposite of these, right? When we're not disengaged, we're engaged, right? We're fighting. Again, I'm just throwing out some words here. We're entangled, right? We're not neutral, we're biased. We're judgmental. And when we're not accepting, of course, we're resisting. Again, we're not accepting. We want things our way. And of course, when we're not detached, we're attached. We are entangled. Now, notice these words are rigid. They're hard. So all these are hard. So again, I just want to show you a simple way to understand this. When you exhibit these, instead of being disengaged, neutral, accepting, and detached, and you become this. You become rigid and hard. You become fixated. You become brittle. You become, it's harder for you to adapt to the situation. So again, when you find yourself becoming hard, when you are entangled in an argument with someone, even inside your own head, right? People create these dramas in their head and they live in them. Learn to get soft with yourself. Be kind, be gentle, and you will see that the conflict will dissipate. Another thing about these two sides of soft and hard within ourselves is that think of this as the ego, or rather this as the ego, and this as your higher self. The higher self, the wise part of yourself. When we get into an argument, we split off from the spiritual side of ourselves and we go into the ego. Again, conflict, whether it's internal or external, we want to D, disengage, we want to be neutral, we want to accept, and we want to detach. And I'll just say one more thing about this concept, because I know people always say, well, how do you do it? And that's why I began in the beginning by saying it takes work. Just like anything in life that is of value, you have to put the work in and the effort. Every day you really need a spiritual discipline. You need to study and learn the difference between your ego and your spirit. All problems come from being in the hysterical, dramatic ego. And what is the ego? We need it, certainly, but we need to help it, to train it. It's funny, it's like a part of us that's out of control sometimes. And we need to learn how to have our spirit in control of the ego. And that's all I'm saying. And that takes work, that takes discipline. So there you have it, a way to handle conflict in relationships. D. Hope you enjoyed that. And please, again, hit the subscribe button. We'll be coming back with many more unique concepts like this for you. Thank you.